For centuries, humanity searched the stars for another Earth, a world with blue oceans, green continents, a breathable atmosphere, a place where life could thrive. When the first Earth-like planet was discovered, the world celebrated. When the second was found, excitement grew. By the end of the century, astronomers had identified dozens. But then something strange happened. The more worlds humanity found, the more a disturbing pattern emerged. Some planets weren't merely similar to Earth. They were better. Their climates were more stable, their ecosystems more diverse, their natural resources more abundant. They suffered fewer asteroid impacts. Their stars were longer lived. By every scientific measure, these worlds should have become the greatest cradles of civilization in the galaxy. Yet every single one shared the same mystery. Nobody lived there. At first, scientists assumed they simply hadn't searched thoroughly enough. The planets were far away. Perhaps signs of intelligent life remained hidden. Perhaps civilizations existed underground. Perhaps advanced species used technologies humans couldn't detect. Then the exploration missions arrived, and the mystery became even stranger. The first expedition landed on a world known as Alicia 9. From orbit, it looked like paradise. Massive forests stretched across entire continents. Crystal blue oceans covered nearly half the planet. The air was cleaner than Earth's. The gravity was perfect. The climate was ideal. It was a world people would have fought wars to possess. Yet there was no life. Not a single animal. Not one insect. Not even bacteria. The forests existed. The rivers flowed. The ocean sparkled. But the planet was silent. Completely silent. As if nature itself had been frozen in time. The discovery shocked the scientific community. Then a second mission reached another paradise world. The result was identical. Perfect conditions. No life. Then a third. Then a fourth. Then a fifth. By the time humanity had surveyed 12 such planets, panic quietly spread through scientific circles. These worlds weren't failures. They had everything necessary for life. Something else was preventing it. Something nobody understood. The breakthrough came almost 50 years later. A research vessel studying one of the abandoned worlds discovered an enormous structure hidden beneath a mountain range. It wasn't natural. It stretched hundreds of kilometers underground, built from a dark metallic material unknown to science. No entrances existed. No visible machinery. No signs of power. Yet the structure was clearly artificial. Someone had built it. The question was why. After months of excavation, explorers finally reached the central chamber. At its center stood a black monolith, 20 meters tall, perfectly smooth. The moment Commander Ethan Ward touched its surface, the structure awakened. Blue light flooded the chamber. Ancient symbols illuminated the walls. Then a voice echoed through the darkness. Not through speakers. Inside their minds. "We apologize." The words stunned everyone. The voice continued. "We never intended for another civilization to find these worlds." Millions of years earlier, the galaxy had been ruled by an ancient species called the Etherians. They were among the first intelligent civilizations ever to evolve. They mastered genetics, terraforming, artificial stars, planetary engineering. Eventually, they learned how to create perfect worlds. Not worlds like Earth. Worlds far superior to Earth. Entire planets designed specifically to maximize life, to eliminate disease, to prevent ecological collapse, to create paradise. At first, the technology seemed like a miracle. Then came an unexpected problem. The perfect worlds changed the species living on them. Without struggle, civilizations stopped evolving. Without hardship, innovation slowed. Without danger, ambition faded. Generation after generation became increasingly dependent on the perfection around them. The planets provided everything. Eventually, entire civilizations lost the desire to explore, to discover, to adapt, to dream. They became comfortable, then stagnant, then fragile. When cosmic disasters arrived, those civilizations could not survive. One by one they vanished. The Etherians watched countless species disappear. Not because they lacked intelligence, not because they lacked resources, but because perfection had quietly weakened them. The Etherians spent thousands of years searching for a solution. Eventually, they reached a terrible conclusion. Life required challenge. Growth required uncertainty. Civilizations needed obstacles to become resilient. The perfect planets were not gifts. They were traps. The Etherians abandoned every paradise world they had created. They sealed them away. They left warnings beneath their surfaces. And then they disappeared from history. The recording ended. Silence filled the chamber. Humanity finally had its answer. The worlds were empty because previous civilizations had never truly learned to survive. Back on Earth, the revelation sparked intense debate. Some argued humanity should settle the paradise worlds anyway. Others believed doing so would repeat the mistakes of the past. For decades, the argument continued. Then an event changed everything. A massive gamma ray burst erupted from a distant region of space. The energy wave swept across several star systems. Colonies built on harsh frontier worlds survived. Their populations adapted quickly. Their infrastructure proved resilient. But experimental settlements established on the paradise planets suffered catastrophic losses. The Etherians had been right. The perfect environments created hidden weaknesses. Humanity finally understood the lesson. The goal was never to find a better Earth. The goal was to become better than the challenges facing them. Over the following centuries, the abandoned paradise worlds became protected scientific preserves. People visited them, studied them, learned from them. But humanity never fully settled them. Instead, civilization spread across diverse worlds. Ice planets. If you enjoyed this journey through the unknown, consider subscribing for more original cinematic sci-fi stories and mysteries from beyond the stars. Ocean worlds, desert colonies, mountain settlements, places that demanded creativity and adaptation, places where humanity continued to grow. Thousands of years later, a young student stood inside the ancient chamber beneath Alicia 9. She looked up at the black monolith that had changed galactic history. A single inscription glowed across its surface, the final message left behind by the Etherians. It read, "Life does not become strong because the path is easy. Life becomes strong because it learns to walk difficult paths." The student stared at the words for a long time. Then she smiled. Because humanity had finally learned what the most advanced civilization in history had discovered. The greatest gift in the universe was not perfection. It was the opportunity to grow. And among the stars, that journey would never truly end. If you enjoyed this journey through the unknown, consider subscribing for more original cinematic sci-fi stories and mysteries from beyond the stars.